What's up guys, Doomwake here and welcome to another video on the channel. We're going to be playing a little bit more Pioneer today and we got a little bit of a blast from the past here. So for those of you who have been played Standard back when 2015, M15 was one of the more recent sets, Ensoul Artifact is a deck you might recognize, a name you might recognize, and it was extremely popular back in Standard and it also saw a little bit of play in Pioneer. Now, we haven't seen a ton of Ensoul Artifact recently and I think that has a lot to do with the printing of March of Otherworldly Light. So the reason for that is back before the printing of March of Otherworldly Light, there wasn't a ton of answers to an Ensoul Artifacted Darksteel Citadel because you would just make a 5/5 indestructible, and the removal spells that people were playing were, things like Fatal Push, Damage Base Removal, Dreadbore, Abrupt Decay, and there wasn't really a clean answer to the, just making a 5/5 indestructible land. But March of Otherworldly Light does not specify non-land, it just says an artifact, enchantment, or creature. So the fact that you can just, very cleanly answer Darksteel Citadel and March is a reasonably popular card, that kind of made it fall off. But we're going to be giving it a shot today anyways, along with some new additions from some recent sets that we'll go over. So the premise of this deck, it at its heart, it is an aggressive deck. It's trying to assemble the namesake Ensoul Artifact, which makes any artifact a 5/5, specifically as we talked about before with Darksteel Citadel. And the reason Ensoul Artifact is so powerful is the artifact keeps its abilities. So with Darksteel Citadel, it becomes a 5/5 indestructible. Ornithopter becomes a 5/5 flyer, so on and so forth. Gingerbrew as well becomes a 5/5 that you can make essentially unblockable. So there's some really cool stuff you can do with that. And I think this deck kind of boils down to, there's what I call the power cards, which are essentially your what you would call payoffs, right, for having a certain number of artifacts. These are kind of your heavy hitters and cards that you're really looking for in a lot of your opening hands. And I think those 11 cards are Ensoul Artifact, Machiko's Reign of Truth, and then we also have Blackstaff at Waterdeep. Now, Machiko's Reign of Truth, I know it's going to be a little bit hard to read here, so let me make this a little bit bigger. It is a new card from Kamigawa Neon Dynasty, and I have played a little bit with this one in the past. So, it's a 2-mana enchantment, Chapter 1 and Chapter 2, excuse me. You give target creature +1/+1 for each artifact and or enchantment you control. So, if you're familiar with a card like Cranial Plating in modern affinity decks, it is a way to kind of buff your creature. Now, obviously, Cranial Plating is more powerful in the fact that it stays in play, but the cool thing about Machiko's is you get the first chapters, you get a nice burst of damage with the first two chapters, and then on the third chapter, you then get this giant threat, which you can attack and block with. So it's really cool there. And it pairs very nicely with a lot of your evasive creatures, as we talked about. Ornithopter and Gingerbrute both have evasion. Gingerbrute, obviously less so. Honestly, I think Gingerbrute is probably more hard to block than Ornithopter these days. There's not a lot of haste creatures going around. But yeah, those are kind of your power cards, and then you have your interaction, things like Portable Hole, and then you have kind of just your generic good cards like Stonecoil Serpent. It doesn't really fit in terms of it's not necessarily a power card. The cool thing about Stonecoil Serpent, there's a couple nice things. First of all, it being an X spell means it can fill any spot of the curve. Now, obviously, playing it as a 1/1 might not be the best, but if you're pumping with Machiko's or you're getting a Patchwork Automaton trigger, that may be the difference, where you're allowed to attack or you get a bigger attack in. And the fact that it can fill any spot of the curve means that you're rarely going to be in a situation where you have nothing to do with your mana or you have leftover mana, which is kind of cool. And the other nice thing that Stonecoil does is, in combination with Ensoul Artifact, the Ensoul Artifact makes the creature a base 5/5, which means that Stonecoil Serpent comes into play or enters the battlefield with +1/+1 counters. So let's say you have a 3/3 Stonecoil and you put an Ensoul Artifact on it, it's now a base 5/5 with 3 +1/+1 counters. So that interaction is really good as well. We talked about Patchwork Automaton, makes sense in a deck that has a lot of artifacts. The really nice thing about Patchwork Automaton as well, excuse me, is it kind of has its built-in protection, where if you're on the play and you play a Patchwork Automaton on turn 2, your opponent can't even come close to killing that thing until at the bare minimum turn 3. That's if they have something like a Fatal Push or what's the other shock, the Play with Fire. But with something like Play with Fire, you might also be able to play 2 spells on your third turn, which means that it's now a 3/3 before they even get a chance to play their third land. So extremely powerful against the red base removal that we're talking Play with Fire and Wild Slash, things like that. So it's a card that's relatively hard to kill. Also, again, +1/+1 counters play very nicely with Ensoul Artifact. So there's some really cool synergies going on there. Blackstaff at Waterdeep, essentially gets to turn any one of your extra random artifacts into a 4/4, so it is a really nice way to apply some pressure. Ghostfire played only a couple of copies here, but it is really nice in combination with, any of the artifact creatures because you can equip it for 1 mana. You get a little, it's really cheap, and +2/+2 is important, again, versus a lot of these damage-based removal as well. And then we round out the deck with 1 copy of Hope of Gear per 1 Shadow Spear. These cards are good in certain matchups, but they're also legendary, and you don't want to draw a ton of copies of them because of the fact that they're legendary, and they definitely have certain spots and certain matchups where they're not as good. So 1 copy of each, is kind of makes a little bit of sense. 4 copies of Springleaf Drum. Kind of a weird card because this deck is, if you look at the curve, it's really low to the ground, so you wouldn't normally think that you're getting a ton of value out of having an extra mana source, but at the same time, you also have extra stuff to do with your mana. As we talked about, Stonecoil Serpent, any extra mana floating around could just be counters on that thing. You have Blackstaff at Waterdeep, which if you animate something and then they kill the creature, the thing that you animate, you need to use 2 more mana on the Blackstaff the next turn, and then you also have stuff like a couple of Mutavaults in the mana base here to get some additional, use additional mana, as well as an Otawara. Mana base, pretty straightforward. Again, the 4 copies of Citadels, some dual lands, Spire of Industry. Again, maybe you don't have to play the full 4 copies because you are only a 2-color deck and you already have Pathways and Fountains, but, it's kind of a free roll. You don't even have that many colored spells, so for the most part, you're going to be tapping this for colorless anyways. And the Otawara, as we talked about. Moving on to the sideboard, we have 3 copies of Glass Casket to go with our 4 Portable Holes. Portable Hole, while it is a good removal spell, there are a lot of 3-drops in the format that Portable Hole can't take care of, and that's where Glass Casket comes in. Devout Decree, excellent against any of the red-based or Rakdos-based strategies. It's just essentially 2 mana, kill anything, scry 1, very powerful against those decks. Our counterspell suite here, we're deciding to split. We have 1 Mystical Dispute and 4 copies of Stubborn Denial. This is a card that you typically saw in main decks before. I like it more as a sideboard option because I think there's a decent number of matchups where I'm not a big fan of Stubborn Denial. Specifically, it's kind of weird because I'm not a big fan of Stubborn Denial against the removal-heavy decks because they're so good at, Thought Seizing to take away Ensoul Artifact, or they have a removal spell to kill your large creature, and they can turn off Stubborn Denial pretty easily with their, cheap interaction. So I'm not as big of a fan of it. Where I really like it is against, things like Devotion, where they have a lot of Planeswalkers that you're looking to Stubborn Denial, and, things of that nature, blue-white control. 3 copies of Unlicensed Hearse, really nice new addition. It's an artifact, plays well with the rest of the theme. Again, +1/+1 counters, very nice with Ensoul Artifact, and very, very good, great piece of graveyard hate. And then 2 copies of Grafdigger's Cage. One thing I will note, I copied this deck list before the Winota ban, so I didn't get a chance to change the sideboard. So these Grafdigger's Cages probably could be something else now that Winota is no longer in the format. That was the main reason why you were playing Cage before. That was my apologies, but maybe more like rounding out with the 4th Glass Casket, maybe a 2nd Dispute, maybe a 4th Hearse, things like that, just kind of rounding out the sideboard. But anyways, that is the deck list. I am a big fan of artifact-based strategies in a general sense. Affinity is one of my greatest loves, so I think this is going to be a really fun league, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it. So, let's get into some games. Ensoul Artifact. Well, we have a 1-lander with no Springleaf Drum. So I think, unfortunately, we have to mulligan this hand. If any one of these 4 cards was a drum, I'd probably keep it, but yeah, I guess I'm gonna keep and go turn 1 drum, turn 2 Patchwork Brute. I think I'm gonna put back the Hallowed Fountain, take less damage. So let's go Citadel, Drum. This is why I'm afraid of mulling. You just keep every single hand, right? You just never mulligan. The easy answer, Hitachi, is just never mulligan. Ooh. Okay, that's actually a pretty good draw. Do I offer the trade? I think I do, right? I think I'm down to offer the trade. I don't think I'm unhappy if they block. Yeah, they unsurprisingly don't even decide to block. Makes sense. So the cool thing is we can get this Machiko's Reign of Truth in under a Spell Queller. So getting to resolve that is pretty massive. Okay, so now we get to go... This is an interesting way to sequence this. So I can go Drum, Reign of Truth. Question is, do I offer the trade of Gingerbread for Selfless Spirit? I think I do. So let's go Drum first. Oh wait, no, this is better, because now I can just Machiko's Reign the Gingerbread. Yeah, because this makes this a 3-3. I was worried about letting the Patchwork trade for Spirit, but this is the easiest way to prevent that, right? Let's just counter here and then pump the Gingerbread with the Reign of Truth. Yeah. So pump here, attack for 10. I mean, honestly, they probably have the chump block, right? Yeah, they do. It's a nice start. It's a really nice start. Top 8 of the Vintage Challenge despite not being a great Vintage player. Yeah, 10 on turn 3. I mean, this is one of the cards that when I first saw it, I thought was going to be a massive player in Pioneer. And I'm really surprised that a lot more people aren't playing this. I'm actually very surprised. I think this card is incredibly powerful. So now we just go upstairs with the Gingerbread, right? And then don't even attack with the Automaton. Yeah. Well, actually, no, I'll trade the Automaton for both. I'm down to trade Automaton for both, I think. I think that's a fine trade, right? I'd be okay with that trade. Yeah, I think I'm cool if they want to double block the Automaton. They don't. They don't play haste creatures, right? Like, these Gingerbreads are free to get in there. I don't think they play haste creatures. Let's go to combat. And before blocks, activate the Brutes. Pass turn. Twerkin' Rogue, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime. Really appreciate that. I know, right? They just pass with 4 mana, absolutely nothing to cast. Tragic. I'm actually shocked they had the Collected Company. You know, pass with 4 mana, 4 cards in hand. I'm very surprised. I am actually surprised they didn't do this in combat, though. Maybe I was supposed to attack with the Automaton that turn? Okay. We need another Machiko's Reign of Truth, please. Alright, so I take 6. Okay, let's pre-combat the Patchwork, which they may or may not Spell Queller. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this now so I can have 6. So if I send with everything, they have to. These are both the Abyss. So yeah, I mean we're not in a bad spot, right? I don't think we are. Would it be worth having Jagantha as a companion? Potentially. Yeah, actually, there's nothing stopping us from having Jagantha, right? And we have Spire of Industry, Mana Confluence, Springleaf Drum to cast it. Yeah, that was probably just an oversight. I killed the Spell Queller, right? I think. I'm not, like, dead on board, am I? Am I dead to a Lord? I may or may not be dead to a Lord. We'll figure it out. Math is for blockers. 3, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I am dead to a Lord, right? Oh, no, it's only 12. Right? It's only 12? Yeah, it's only 12. Okay, so we got an 8. Had it. They could have Queller as their last card. Please don't have Queller. Alright, target Gingerbrute. Not allowed to block. Easy clap. Getting back into MTG, am I crazy for thinking Doom Foretold is playable in Pioneer? Probably. I don't know. It's really slow to work in Rogue. It's really, really slow. You don't have any of the cards that do something similar to Blossoming Defense? Apostle's Blessing. Not quite the same thing, but Apostle's Blessing could be interesting in that deck, too. Okay, so Spirits, huh? Dispute's good. I think Stub is pretty bad. Cage... I think Cage is a trap. It's like, obviously, you're like, well, they have 4 collected companies, but it's the only card it hits. I don't think it's, like, that good. Hearse is bad. Casket's good. So it's these 4 cards. What am I cutting? This card seems terrible. How good is Blackstaff in this matchup? Kind of slow, right? I think I'm gonna try cutting Blackstaff. Makes me sad that Ingenious Smith isn't good enough. Like, Smith is a good card, I just think this deck is trying to be a lot faster than that, right? It's not that Smith is a bad card, it's just this deck is trying to, like, kind of go under Smith. What am I casting first? I think same thing as last time, right? Drum into Patchwork Brute. I think that's better. It's up, Da Vinci. Yeah, I had a lot of fun doing coverage this morning. That was really awesome. All right, so Patchwork. I think I can afford to not play the Casket, because I can just go Casket into Dispute next turn. I guess they get me with the Wanderer that way, but... Okay. Kind of gross. Okay. I'm at 13. It's a rough spot. Trying to think if I like have to cast Glass Casket just to not not get raced. Right? Like Casket the Phantom. Hold up Dispute. Like Casket the Phantom, attack for 3, hold up Dispute. Next turn Ensoul. Ensoul, Casket, Shackle. If I Ensoul and Casket, I can't attack. I don't like casting Ensoul unless I'm attacking that turn. Like, I don't even see the point of casting Ensoul. Also, I want to hold up Dispute, I think. So I kind of want to just go Casket this, attack for 3, hold up Dispute. I think I like that better. Yeah, I think I like this better. And just kill this thing. Yeah, I like this better. Does ward count for my spells? No. I can ward my own creature. I guess they can fight back, but that's fine, right? So do I Ensoul the Springleaf Drum? Well, it's probably better to Ensoul this, right? So they can't Skyclave it. Even if they draw a white source, they still can't Skyclave this. It's kind of putting my chips all in one basket, though. It's probably better to just Ensoul this, right? Yeah. Need to tap blue mana. I want to save the Otawara, I think. So attack for 8. They go to 9. Yeah, that's bad. Definitely a chips in the basket type of deck, as Ryan said. Gross. So we go to 2. Can't imagine I have outs here, right? Yeah. Alright, game 3. Blackstaff is maybe a little bit better on the play. I don't really know what's bad, though. Is this, like, potentially a matchup I want to cut Ensoul? Because they have Skyclave Apparition, Portable Hole, and Shacklegeist. Is that weird that I want to cut Ensoul? I honestly think it might be my worst card. I could just, like, beat them with Stone Coils and Machiko's Reign of Truth. It does, like, really decrease the overall power level of my deck. But if I'm adding Blackstaff, maybe it's okay. I don't know, man. It's really hard to cut Ensoul Artifacts in the play. Like, it's just like the best possible card of the play. I'm just gonna run it. Blackstaff is basically just like a slower, worse version of Ensoul. I actually kind of like this hand. This card is like really good against them. I guess it's bad against Skyclave, but kind of weird. But I want to keep this hand. This hand is very good at not dying. Stub might be better. Problem I have with Stub is they're like the Bant versions of Spirits usually only play Collected Company as their only non-creature spell. Not a big fan of it. I don't really want to play a 2-2. Just gonna pass. I'm gonna pretend like I have Dispute. Although I'd probably just dispute that in a heartbeat. Alright, let's just go Portable Hole. Still gonna wait on the Serpent, I think. I want to make at least a 4-4, although if they hold up Spell Queller, I'm gonna wait till I get to 5. Because they can't Queller on 5. Yeah, I'm just gonna play nothing. This like kind of burns their mana too. Because they're just not gonna run up the Spell Queller, right? Yeah, sure. What was the matchup in the challenge? We beat Lotus Field somehow. I don't even know how we beat Lotus Field, but well, they kept 7 game 2 and they had Leyline, but they never played their second land, so they just kept their hand based on the strength of Leyline, which thankfully we drew 2 creatures and were able to race that. But all right, so nice Spell Queller. Yeah, that's also good against Stone Coil. This matchup seems really bad for us. Because they have, like, Shacklegeist, Skyclave Apparition. They have, like, a lot of good ways to do this kind of shit. I take a bit. Game 1, we Thoughtseize the key bits and killed them quickly. Yeah, but you're 3 Thoughtseize this game 1. Which is pretty massive. I mean... Like, I'm just gonna cast 2 of these fuckers, right? Like, what else am I doing? I can Glass Casket the Rattle Chains to try and bait a spell out of them, too. Okay. I mean, I can't really play her on anything. Kind of all in here. So this is what, 15? 16. I can't hold back. Yeah, I'm dead to a Lord, but... Alright, 16, yeah. I still can't win, but... Yeah, this is almost certainly going to kill me. I'm dead to any Lord. Okay. Not technically dead to that, but now they can just tap this. Is there any way... Yeah, I don't think I have any outs. Does that do anything? I think so. Maybe they'll forget the tap. Maybe they'll forget the tap. You win. I still would have preferred them to ban, just, like, get it out of the way and ban Dig Through Time, because they're gonna have to eventually ban Dig Through Time. Like, there's no way Dig Through Time remains legal for... I'd be shocked if we get a year from now and Dig is still legal. Dig and Cruise. I'd be shocked. Well, both. I think both are problems. You can't, like, ban one and not the other. You have to ban both. Devotion with no 3-drop, huh? I'm, like, kind of considering playing Machiko's Reign of Truth. And then I can go attack. Next turn, attack again. And go Patchwork Blackstaff. Is that better? Or I could go Patchwork this turn. Next turn, Machiko Blackstaff. I think that's worse than just playing Machiko's this turn. Honestly. Deck 4. Yeah, that's true. Maybe they had Old Growth Troll and they couldn't play it. Here's the troll. So this is a bit awkward because I really can't afford to trade. So I have to spend a mana on the Gingerbread this turn, which means I guess I'm just going to play Patchwork. Yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to play Patchwork. I can't make that trade, obviously. That trade is so bad for me. I love Pioneer. I think Pioneer's awesome. I'm just saying that I think at some point, like, I don't know if the Del spells are necessarily a problem right now, but, like, if you ask me, would I be surprised if they end up being a problem 6, 7, 8 months down the road from now? Probably not. Like, they're not going to get any better in terms of, like, well, that's the wrong phrasing. Like, that's the issue. They're going to get better as more cards are introduced into the format. Storm the Festival. Yeah, agreed. It's really sad that the iteration ban, I don't know if it killed Ascendancy, but at least the way that Ascendancy is currently built, you have to, like, really, really reconsider how you build Ascendancy. Like, I think there is potentially an Ascendancy deck, but... Okay, so... This is blue to activate. They have 3 cards in hand. I feel like I'm dead. I feel like I'm very dead. But in any case, let's go Blackstaff, trigger. Can make the Ginger Brute a 4/4, activate. Attack for just 4? And then if for some reason we don't die and we draw Machiko's Reign of Truth, we have lethal. But I mean, I don't think Ascendancy is missing a mana creature. Like, I think Sylvan Awakening is more than enough for Ascendancy. It's just missing, like, that... Expressive Iteration allowed it to... It's just like a straight up 2-for-1, right? That's the card that you're really missing. Like, the deck was already playing 4 Opt and 4 Consider. I guess maybe you could just, like, max out on Dig Through Time, but then your deck is a lot worse against Graveyard Hate. So. For the artifact taking paper, I have one Tameshi main for late game. Get the enchantments back and Thopters. Yeah, Tameshi's kind of cool to bounce Machikos. I hadn't thought about that. That's a really cool idea. Is there a good way to flicker in Pioneer? Because you could, like, flicker the Machikos. Obviously, there's no Ephemerate, but... Soak me in bleach. Well... Stubborn Denial is not awful. It's also not great, though. Like, the issue with... does counter Karn. We have to have Stub, right? Also, I've yet to cast this card on turn 2. Like, I've never had this card in my opening hand. I'm gonna cut, I think, Blackstaff. I'm gonna trim a Stone Coil. I'm just gonna bring in 4 of these. We have to be able to answer Karn. Literally can't beat it. What's this? Turn 1 Drum. Turn 2 Hope Gingerbread. With 2 stubs and a portable hole for Llanowar Elves. We just have no power cards. Like, this hand just, it just doesn't do anything. It just plays a couple 1/1s. This hand sucks. Like, we have to mulligan to our, like, actual good cards. That's the issue with this deck, is it doesn't have a lot of those. I mean, I guess this hand's gonna have to do. It's not great, but... Flicker of Fate. Displacer. I guess we can turn on Displacer with both Spire of Industry and Darksteel Citadel. It's 3 mana, though, right? 3 mana is kind of sketchy. Attack for 2. I mean, if I draw Ensoul Artifact, I like our spot, but... Otherwise, we're in really bad shape. Young Dingo, thank you so much for the rating. Rating. Thank you for the raid, Young Dingo. Appreciate that. Hope you had a fun, entertaining stream. Welcome, everybody, from Young Dingo's stream. Hey, look, I drew the Ensoul Artifact card. Maybe I should have put it on the portable hole. Now that I think about that. I probably should have just put it on the portable hole. The only reason I like putting it here is because now I can, like, actually make this a real threat. Like, I can, well, you know what I mean? I can make it unblockable. Which is why I like putting it here, but... Thank you, Young Dingo. Appreciate the raid again, buddy. Wolf Willow Haven. Please don't besage me, bro. Okay, that's fine. So... Okay, land's not bad. Because now I can go... Ghostfire Blade. I can go equip this one and make this one unable to be blocked. So they have the choice of either going to 3 or chump blocking here. They decide to go to 3. This has to be a pretty good spot for us, right? You need to put in the brute because I think you're not going to kill it. Right, exactly, yeah. I think I have to put it on the Ginger Brute just to be able to, like, attack past their larger creatures. Like, I think I have to take that line. Five mana. Alright, you're dead. You are dead. Ladies and gentlemen, we got. All right, I'm gonna try and finish this league match before I play the challenge match. Shouldn't take too much longer. Yeah, they found Boseiju. They found Boseiju. I mean, even if they had Boseiju, it still would have been lethal. We just make them right. We had 2 lethal attackers. This hand's insane, right? Holy shit, this hand's nuts. That's not a Llanowar Elf. I like to see that. Anytime they don't play Llanowar Elves on turn 1, you just pump the fist. Yeah, that's true. Their Nissa lands can block Gingerbread. That's actually pretty hilarious. Okay, they revealed Karn, which is interesting, because if they play a mana creature next turn, or a Wolfwillow Haven, we just get to go Gingerbread, hold up Stub. If they don't put a mana acceleration in play, we get to slam the Ensoul Artifact. So it all depends on whether or not they have mana here. Okay, now we have to hold up Stub, which is fine. I don't mind that. Probably better to play the Mutavault, right? Yeah. So let's go Gingerbread, hold up Stub. It's a pretty good spot to be in, I think. We get to stub their Karn, and then next turn go Ensoul plus Ghostfire Blade. Yeah, I like our spot. I think I like our spot. And then if for whatever reason they don't play the Karn this turn, we can just go Ensoul, attack for 6, hold up the Ferocious Stub. But they're obviously going to play the Karn here. Wow, they're not. Okay. That might mean they have Boseiju. Does that change my line? No, I still have to go for Ensoul, I think. Sucks if they have the Boseiju, but it is what it is. Yeah, I'll tackle both. Alright, see if they have the Boseiju. Please no Boseiju, please no Boseiju. Okay, they didn't have the Boseiju. I'm very confused as to why they didn't play Karn then. I feel like the only way they wouldn't play Karn is if they had Boseiju, right? It's very strange. Okay, that's kind of fine, right? Sure. That's not even that bad. Like, I just have them on a 2-turn clock. They hit a land. So they still have card in hand. Yep, that's fine. I think we're actually in an okay spot. I think we're in an okay spot. Maybe that's Copium. We got Troll. That doesn't really matter. Aren't they dead? Do we have enough mana? We go Machikos. Machikos isn't enough, right? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I'm 2 damage short, correct? Am I missing something? What am I missing? Well, I mean, I guess what I do here is I just go play land, play Machiko's haste or activate this attack with a big, hold up Stub. Right? I think we just do it that way. So we go Machiko's, target the big, activate the big, attack for big. Yeah. Like, yes, I'm playing with my hand face up, but, like, who cares? I guess if they draw the Boseiju, we're actually kind of in a rough spot, right? Because they can go cast Karn. That's fine. Because what they can do is they can play Karn, and then respond to the Stub and Boseiju this. What's this? Nissa Who Shakes the World. And they have 4 green left over. I think I'm letting that resolve. Yes, it makes a haste creature, but I can make both of these lethal. So I don't think their one blocker matters. So it all comes down to whether or not they have another payoff. Which, unfortunately, it looks like they do. Oh, Cavalier's fine. Cavalier's totally fine. Yeah, it doesn't matter. Right? Yeah, they're dead. We win! We win! 20 mana. Yeah, who cares? Stubborn your Karn, you lose. If I knew how to tap for blue mana. Pew, 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 pew. Easy clap. You ever just conceded with 16 mana in your pool? Yeah, 16 floating, concede. Yeah, if they hit a storm, it's different, right? They have another payoff if they hit a storm there, but... Because I'm doing commentary starting at 2. So I only have like 3 hours. The challenge starts at 11, I think. Well, actually, no. Does the showcase start at 9? I don't know. Maybe I'll try and play it. We'll see. Yeah, I have Ensoul Artifact. Sounds good. Yeah, 9. But I got, what, 5 hours to play the challenge? It's probably not going to do it. Maybe, though. It's going to be dicey. Because I start coverage at 2. Think they'd be upset if I was commentating while playing the showcase challenge? What's the most brain-dead deck in Pioneer? Well, it was Winota. Now, probably Mono Green? Maybe? I'm richer than I've ever been. Mono Red? It's either Mono Green or Mono Red. Hotsies. Well, now they take Ensoul. Because they literally can't beat a 5/5 Indestructible, I don't think. Unless they're like white-black with March. Alright, they took Ensoul. I'm going to play Patchwork this turn. Do I give up a damage to play the Brute? Or to play the Drum? Yeah, I think so. Also, blue or white mana. I don't think it matters because I have the Drum, I guess. Is there anything I'm particularly challenging about commentating? Honestly, not really. It kind of just, like, flows really naturally. You know, this is only the second time I've ever done it. The first time was literally last week. But I'm having a fucking blast. It's been so much fun. What they did, they thought seized my Patchwork Automaton. 2/2? I think I'm down to play a 2/2, right? Yeah, 2/2 plus Blade. Well, if they anger me, they anger me. You usually don't have main deck anger, right? Surely they don't have main deck anger. Surely. Surely. It's actually losing 2 damage because you miss a Patchwork trigger as well. What do you mean? Oh, by playing the Drum that turn? Yeah, but I end up getting access to a lot more mana, right? That's the plus side of that. So the question is, what am I targeting with this Machikos? I think the Ginger Brute, and then I just shove with everything. Because I think Ginger Brute is the card I want them to kill the most, right? Yeah. I guess this is worse if they have push, or if they have, like, double push, because they can just double push these two, but... The NRG series. They're looking at their Dreadbore in hand? Yeah. I mean, they could have Dreadbore Ginger Brute, but... They have Gulligan's Command. Tilt. Tilt, tilt, tilt. Now if they have Kalitas, I can't attack. Well, no, I have this, right? Yeah. So they're dead on board? Right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The old dead on board. Easy. Alright, so playing against Rakdos. I like Hearse a lot in this matchup. Stub is kind of awkward because they're really good at, like, killing your shit. I could Devout Degree to kill Kalitas. Could they equip Sword? No, they shattered it. They killed the sword, dog. Iconic. I feel like this is not a portable hole matchup. I don't really think it kills anything relevant at all. So definitely want to bring in the Hearse. And then maybe cut the Hope and play 2 Devout Decree? Let's try that. Yeah. I really enjoy that this is still a Lurrus compliant deck. Yeah, they just forgot to update it. The person who 5-0'd with this deck just probably took their deck from 2 months ago, cut Lurrus, and was like, alright, we'll just run it. Thought you were playing black-red stuff. That's in the challenge BMAP. So we're 1-1 in the challenge, and this is in between rounds of the challenge. There's a Death and Tile style deck to be Death and Taxes style deck to be made in Pioneer now. I've seen a lot of people, or a couple people, like 5-0ing with Green-White Company, and I think that deck is excellent. I don't remember if I have a list. I think I saved it in my phone. No, this is the list splashing black. There was somebody who 5-0'd and tagged me. It was just Green-White Company. That's all it was. See if I can find their deck list. I gotcha. Hold on. Here it is. So this deck lists. So it's basically it's very similar to Winota, but basically instead of Winota, it just plays Company. But it's like a bunch of elves, voices, Thalias, Archons, Brutal Cathar's, Spellbinder, Apparition, Coco. I don't know about Lovestruck Beast, but this is something that I like the way this looks a lot. Whoa, what did I just do? What the hell did I just do? Just did. Anyways. How do they beat this card? They don't, right? I mean, alright, go. Good luck! Did I share a link to it? Yeah, I can grab a link. Oh, they have Legion's End? That's bullshit. Oh. Well, we don't have the Citadel anymore. Alright, I think I just play Hearse here. Yeah, I think I play Hearse. The meta has adjusted, yeah. That's hilarious. Yeah, Trespasser. Alright, target. They have 5 cards. I could Ensoul my Springleaf Drum. Pretty bad if they have Fatal Push. I could play a 3/3. I think I'm down to just play a 3/3, to be honest with you. I think I'm cool with this. I want to try to play a little bit slower here. That was a fucking blowout. I was not expecting Legion's End. Feed the Swarm. Well, I could trade the Hearse for this. Is that a good trade? I feel like that's a good trade, right? Yeah, I think it's a fine trade. I mean, if they have push, this is going to happen regardless, right? Okay. Necromant list, what would you play over Beast Specialist, Spirit of the Lab? They do. Oh, Bone Crusher Giant. I guess we're ensouling, right? Could play a 4/4. Let's just play a 4/4, actually. I think I like this better. Which one's Specialist again? Is that the 3-mana 3/2 that gets back a 2-drop? Specialist is probably pretty good. I think I'd try Specialist. I also think this might be a bit of a point of contention, but I think I like Luminarch Aspirant more than Voice of Resurgence. I think I would try Aspirant in that spot. Stone. So would you just go Ensoul here, and offer the trade of basically 2 for 2? I'm obviously going to Ensoul here. I just don't know if I should Ensoul and attack with this. Like, I think that 2 for 2 is fine, right? No, I'm saying they would double block this. I know they can't trade for this, but I'm saying they could double block this. I think that's okay, right? They have 2 cards. Could play and activate Brute, then Ensoul it. So I go Brute, activate, Ensoul the Brute, attack for 9. They don't have a good block on Stone Coil. And then next turn, Ensoul the Stone Coil. That actually might be better, actually. I kind of like that. Because that pushes 9 damage this turn, and then next turn I can go Ensoul, Stone Coil, activate Brute, shove. Yeah, I think I like that. I think I like that better. That's a good play. I like that. I can also wait on Ensoul Brute. I mean, I might as well do it this turn, right? Is there a reason not to do it this turn? It just uses my mana so efficiently. Like, this is just the perfect use of all my mana. And they can't even kill this with Blood Tithe Harvester. They only have 2 blood. It's a 5/5, right? So they can't kill this with Blood Tithe Harvester. No, Harvester's only sorcery speed. So they can't Harvester in response to me ensouling. This is only sorcery speed. But I think it's still pretty good to do it now. But Bone Crusher Giant specifically would get me pretty good. But I guess if they had Bone Crusher, they could just sack Harvester and then stomp the Ginger Brute. Appreciate all the new follows. If you're new to the stream, be sure to smash that follow button. See, that's fine. I think I'm cool with that. Oh, sure, yeah. I gotcha. Question is, are we shoving on this Stone Coil? Maybe. Well, the answer is yes. So they're at 14. They only have one card left. Alright, well. Attack. Don't kill my thing. Do it. They can triple block. Hypothetically, they can triple block. Which I guess might be their play. Yeah. Oh. You know what they say. You know what they say. Better lucky than good, as it were. Better lucky than good. So they have to triple block and go to 1. Triple block, go to 1, huh? We'll take that. Your turn. Good luck. Seems like they're digging for a push, so probably good to deal damage while you can. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Serpent's really good. Especially against this deck, where they have, like, Kolaghan's Command and Dreadbore and Blood Tithe Harvester. Like, Serpent puts in a lot of work. Okay, that's not going to do it. They hit Bone Crusher Giant, also not going to do it. Alright, 2 and 1. Let's go. A little bit of a risky hand on the draw, but I'm willing to keep it. Actually crazy how lucky they are. Oh well. Them's the beats. I mean, you can choose to not agree with me. That's fine. Need a friend, someone who'll go be by me right there till the end. I'm gonna save 1 Ornithopter for potential Patchwork Automaton. Am I liking this blue-white list? It's okay. It's a little bit of work, but they just took it. Okay. Kept a bit of a sketchy hand for sure. Oh. Rotting Regisaur, huh? Are we just getting busy? I think it's time to get busy, chat. I think it is time to get busy. Kind of want to play the Ornithopter just to chump block. Getting busy. Sullivan Brophy, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime subscription. Appreciate you. Yeah, they're probably on some fight rigging stuff. Titan of Industry. That's a good one to fight rigging into. Should I block while I can? Blocking is kind of sketchy if I draw another Ensoul Artifact. I might just take 1 hit. I can block next turn, it's fine. They're at 19. That's kind of awkward. Spire of Industry. Huh. As long as the Blackstaff of Waterdeep remains tapped. So I can go Blackstaff, animate the Ornithopter, attack for 9? I'm 1 fucking point short of lethal, though, which is really awkward, right? I'm in the race if I Blackstaff, Ornithopter, and block on their turn with Brute. I'm 1 point short. So what ends up happening is I go Blackstaff, fire up the Thopter, attack for 9. They go to 10. Next turn, I only have 9 damage. Oh, if they don't draw a creature, the Meatball kills them? Sure. Yeah, if they don't draw a creature. It's my only play, I think. I don't think I have another play. Yeah. Yeah, because they have to discard their last card to the Rotting Regisaur. If they don't draw a creature, maybe they have to like hold back a Rotting Regisaur. But like, also if they, oh wait a minute, oh never mind, I'm dumb. Also, if they hold back the Regisaur, then they just lose, right? Because they attack with 1, I take 7 and go to 2, and then I just go animate this 10U. Okay, discard a Gargaroth. That's really good for me. Oh, also, I can just kill a creature, right? If they draw a 1 or a 2 drop, the hole might kill them. Alright, well, they drew a creature. Hopefully it's a 2 drop. Damn it. Okay. Let's go! What a sick game, dude. Oh, what a sick game. What a crazy game. Actually, sick game. Whew. This deck has some really exciting games, huh? Alright. Golgari, big stuff. Golgari, big card. That's I hope somebody gets that reference. Golgari, big card. So Casket hits 3 or less, right? So maybe I swap Hole for Casket. This also kills Rotting Regisaur, which is pretty good. I think Stub is kind of bad. Thank you, Stefan. Thank you. Maybe I cut this and keep in like 2 portable holes. Oh wait, no, I have to cut more cards. What am I doing? Okay, this is 60. How's this look? You like Denial? What do you like Denial against? Yeah, they probably have Elves. Yeah, that's a good point. What would you want to play Portable Hole over, though? For rigging? Yeah. What do you think's bad at this matchup? Shadow Spear? Yeah, it's kind of hard to race the 7/6s. Even with the Shadow Spear, potentially. Serpent's not that great either, right? Because even like a 2/2 or a 3/3 Serpent with a Ensoul on it, like, it's kind of hard for that to get past a Rotting Regisaur sometimes, right? So what if I go, like, cut the Shadow Spear, cut 2 Serpents, and play 3 Portable Holes? I don't know if I like this card on the draw. Potentially on the play, but I think on the draw it's kind of sketchy. Because, like, on the draw, Stub versus Llanowar Elves, that's not really a good spot to be in, usually. But on the play, it's a lot better, I think. Ooh. The sand has, well, it's got a few too many lands, but Gingerbrute into Machikos is okay. Potentially Gingerbrute into Casket into Machikos, too. I'll keep it. Like, this hand kind of lives and dies on whether or not it draws a single land. Because if it draws a land, it's probably, you know, kind of awkward, but... Yeah, Gargaroth is kind of rough. Titan, too. Thought they would never leave. Elvish Mystic. I mean, it's a spell, right? It is technically a spell. I'll take this trade, I think. Especially because I drew another creature. So if they play Rotting Regisaur, I will definitely Glass Casket it. Heavy. So this thing... How much do I care about the heavy? If I let them have heavy... I probably shouldn't let them have heavy, right? Because if they have rigging, it's pretty bad. I should probably just kill it. I'll just kill it. It's like kind of an awkward use of my thing. But now next turn I can potentially go 1/1 Stone Coil, play Machikos, and get a huge hit in. Like, I'd much rather kill a Rotting Regisaur than a Shakedown Heavy. Because I can just, like, never take damage from the Heavy. But... yeah, that was the worry. But I mean, now they only have 2 cards. So yeah, now we can go play a 1/1, play a Machikos, just to get more damage in. We can Machikos the Ornithopter. Attack for 5. As far as trading, what would I trade a turn 1 elf for? Well, it really depends on, like, if you're saying from the elf player's side, it really depends on the context of their hand. Like, how important is the elf? Do they have a 3-drop to play on turn 2? Things like that. I'm willing to trade it. Like, if I don't need the elf, I'm willing to trade it for a lot of things. But it all depends on whether or not you actually care about the elf being in your hand. Most of the time, the answer is you do want to trade for it, but... And from my side, I mean, like, in a situation like that, if I didn't draw the Ornithopter, I'd be less likely to want to trade here. Because, like, I need a creature to be able to pair with Machikos. Something like that. Okay. We are racing. Machikos would be an insane draw. Ghostfire Blade's fine. Blackstaff is a good draw. We have a lot of good draws. Ensoul Artifact is obviously nuts. Big Reggie. Ooh, it's good. It's good for them. Fuck! Well, we lose. Rip. Rip, 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 rip. You blame me? Why do you blame me? What did I do? I can't get out. I don't know if I have any outs now. Oh, the guy who called it? Yeah. Think I'm drawing dead? Spire of Industry, certainly not gonna do it. Kind of want the 4th portable hole in the play. I just want to kill all their elves. And, like, Patchwork is really does not match up well against Rotting Regisaur. 4 spells, 3 lands. Alright, I'll keep it. I think I'm going to go Ornithopter Blackstaff and just attack for 4 on turn 2. I think I like that. We're not playing Shrapnel Blast because we're blue-white. 3 colors is kind of sketchy. And I kind of like the white more than I like the blue. Machiko's Reign of Truth is really good. Like, Shrapnel Blast is decent, but it's not a payoff. It's kind of a payoff, but maybe not quite the same as Machiko's Reign of Truth. Like, Reign of Truth really does allow you to push a lot more damage, right? Yeah, white also gives you really good sideboard cards, too. No, I'm not going to play the showcase tomorrow, because I have to do commentary starting at 3 o'clock, or 2 o'clock, actually. So I don't really think I'm going to have enough time to play it. Alright. Blocks Diamond. Okay, drawing a land, not great. Attack for 4. They may or may not block. What's up, Claudia? Claudio, settle this debate. Who's favored, Blue White or Rakdos? Choose wisely. Alright. Just gonna play some Brutes, I guess. I'll make one of them unblockable. Attack for 5. And then I'll just take 7. Thank you. When I played against Teamer Shapeshift with Teamer Rhinos, wasn't sure if Blood Moon was good, bad, or separate for the matchup tips. I would bring in Blood Moon against any deck that Escape Shift. 100%. Alright, really hope I don't have fight rigging here, because that might be a little awkward. We do have a 2-turn clock, and we have a blocker next turn, plus a blocker here, so we're potentially doing okay if they don't have fight rigging. But if they do have the fight rigging, this could get really awkward. The rare each Ginger Brute? No, I'm turning them sideways. Like, they're at 12 and we have 6 power. Okay. That doesn't do all that much, because now we can just untap Blackstaff. It does change our clock significantly. Okay, no white mana. So I think what I want to do is go... This is an interesting spot. So they're at 12. So 4, 5. I can just go... I can Blackstaff and then fire up both Ginger Brutes. Is that good? It's not bad, right? So I have a couple of options. I can go Blackstaff, a Ginger Brute. I could even go Blackstaff, a Ginger Brute, fire up Mutavault, attack with both, attack with everything. And then they can either chump the Ginger Brute, trade for the Ginger Brute, or just take it all. But if they take it all, then I have lethal next turn, right? Because if they take 7, they go to 5, and then I can just fire up... I can activate both Ginger Brutes next turn. I know, I'll do that after. This is game 3, so... Honestly, I kind of like that line. Just go Blackstaff, fire up Mutavault, shove. Because if they trade here, they still take 6, right? And I still have lethal next turn? Yeah, I like that a lot. Is this sorcerer speed only? Yeah, okay. So let's go Blackstaff here. I think I like this line the best. So I think what they have to do is actually chump block the 4/4. Wow, they just took it? Okay. Well, now they're kind of in a bad spot, right? I think they had the chump block there. Said GG's. Jose, thank you so much for the 16 months of support. We are 3-1 in that league. Let's play the challenge. All right, let's go. Last round of our league with Ensoul Artifact. See if we can get the oh-so-beloved 4-1. Okay, this is a 4-lander, but we have a Mutavault, so it's like kind of a 3.5-lander. The question is, it's really hard to keep a hand without a payoff, and the payoffs I consider in this deck are Ensoul Artifact, Pachiko's Reign of Truth, and Blackstaff, which is 11 cards, so like you're reasonably likely to have at least one of those in your opening hand. This is like kind of a payoff, but this hand's, I think, just too slow. I'm not a big fan of this hand. This hand is a lot better. Put back the second Ornithopter pretty easily. And we can just go Spire, Ginger Brute, hold the Ornithopter for Patchwork. Turn 2, we can go Patchwork Thopter. Then we can play this on 3. Notably, Patchwork is quite good in this matchup. Alright, see if they play a 2-drop here. Alright, they're holding up removal, which is good, because now we can just play Michikos. And we can target the Patchwork Automaton, so they can't kill it. Give a little attack for 7. They're likely to kill the Ginger Brute. Because they kind of have to use their mana. Yep. Alright, so they take 6. Play this, pass. If they play the Bone Crusher, we can pump up the Ornithopter. See what they do. I have Kolaghan's Command? Like, kill the Thopter, make me discard? That'd be a little annoying. But then I could just go pump this, attack for 6, which is not too bad. Okay, so they do just play the Bone Crusher. Another Patchwork, huh? Do I offer the trade? You know what? I don't really think I want to offer the trade. I mean, I guess what I could do is just go pump up the Patchwork, play Portable Hole, and attack for 7? Just let them chump block? Can make it a 5/5? Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? Like, what I wanted to do was go pump the Ornithopter, play 2 spells, and attack with both, but then they can just trade for the Patchwork, which is bad. So I think maybe I just go pump the Patchwork, and then play both of my cards. Because I don't think my Portable Hole is worth a ton in this matchup anyways. Yeah, I think this is fine. They probably have to chump block. No, they just go to 5. Alright. You know nothing in this format, I have no clue what I'm doing. Nice. Okay. Well, play the Portable Hole, and then they have 2 Harvesters. Kind of awkward. Kind of a feels bad. So that happens. And then we can just go play Patchwork. Attack with both of the Idiots. They can go trade double block. Kind of okay with that. Yeah. This is still fine, I think. Like, I have a good threat. I have a Patchwork, which is, you know, fine if I draw a spell. I don't know. This is not, like, the best spot to be in, for sure. They have a 3rd Harvester? Dreadbore. Well, things have gone from bad to worse. Now I feel very dead. I mean, I don't want this thing flipping. I guess I'll do this. Maybe I got a little too aggressive this game. I'm not sure what my other line was supposed to be, though. Like, obviously I could have not played the Portable Hole. The first one. Yeah, I'm not going to block. Just take 3. I wonder how different this game is if I don't play the Portable Hole. It's probably a little bit different, but not that much different, I don't think. Okay. We need a Michiko's Reign of Truth very, very badly. Univault, not gonna cut it. Alright, attack for 2, play a second Mutavault. They get to flip their Trespasser, which is kind of a disaster. As the Rakdos Lotus Field matchup. It's funny you say that, because I think it's really, really bad for Rakdos, but we did somehow beat it round 1. But I think we got insanely lucky. Elidus. Gladys. Alright, we are dead. I'm trying to concede the game. Okay, so Devout Decree against the Rakdos deck, pretty good. Glass Casket, huh? What does that kill? Kind of kills all their creatures. I'm going to cut the portable holes. I'm going to try, maybe bring in Casket, maybe bring in Hearse. I don't know, maybe Casket's bad. Hope is kind of bad. Shadow Spear is mostly irrelevant, I think. It'd be like, yeah, I'll keep the Shadow Spear. I really don't like Stubborn Denial in these like heavy removal-based matchups. What's an Eater of Virtue? I don't know what that card is. You say that like I know what that card is. Okay, we'll keep this. This matchup does seem pretty bad for the Ensoul deck. 1 mana, +2/+0. Oh, the... okay. Oh, okay, I remember that. I don't know, is that card good? Alright, opponent's on 6. I think I'm going to lead on Springleaf Drum. Let's see what's up. Kind of don't want to just run out this Ensoul. I want to try and find a Darksteel Citadel. So let's go play this as blue. Ginger Brute, Ghost Fireblade. Attack for 1. Because if I Ensoul any one of these, they can just Fatal Push it. Not a big fan of that. Interesting draw step. So let's go... I think Ghost Fireblade this. Cool thing is if they Bone Crusher this in response, it's actually not so bad, because I can go make blue, let this resolve, and then I can go Blackstaff the Ghost Fireblade, which is kind of a cool line. And then if they kill the Ghost Fireblade, then I can Ensoul up the Springleaf Drum. So we'll hit for 4. Go to 15. And then if they decide to play the Bone Crusher Giant, we have a couple of options. Go to Equipped. Oh, you like Equip instead of attacking? Just like, yeah, potentially. Okay, you know what? Now that they've passed, I almost want to untap the Blackstaff and fire up the Drum, because I'd rather have them kill the Drum than the Blade. So I think I'm actually going to untap the Blackstaff. Kind of a little punished. But now we can just go animate the Drum, equip the Drum. Wait, cancel. And then attack for 6. Smells like Gate Command. Yeah, I mean, I guess they can shatter this, right? Shatter this, make me discard, probably. Is our best draw here just Citadel? Yes. Yeah, Citadel is by far our best draw. Alright. I do have the Colligan's Command. This matchup is so... I think it's bad, the more I think about it. Yeah. Alright, well, I don't really have a choice. I should have equipped, but... I never should have equipped. Well, I had Fatal Push anyways, so... not much I can do about this draw, chat. Not much I can do about this draw. Okay, then. I don't know what you want me to do. I think if I drew a Darksteel Citadel at any point, they probably could never win, but... I guess they might have enough chump blockers, but... yeah, you win. Don't even have a good attack here, just double block. Sag, 3-2. Well, if you're watching on YouTube, smash that like and subscribe button. See you guys in the next one.